Hi, I'm going to give you an overview now of the fixed projector mounting bracket. So the reason it's called fixed is that there's no adjustable height in terms of it. It's just mounted very discreetly directly below the ceiling. So the design on this is absolutely fantastic. It's available with free delivery from freetv.ie. And what I'm going to do now is just give an overview of exactly the component parts that make up it and why it's much more better than other products that are on the market. We have other variants of these that have adjustable height things on it. There's more of a niche for them, but most people who are mounting projectors, this is the one to go for, simply because it's the simplest, it's the lowest cost, and it's the least invasive in terms of space. If you come along here, you'll see that they finished the assembly design here. It's a very, very neat little packaging thing. We have an instruction manual in terms of install and then some safety notices as well. So it's fundamentally made up of two parts. It's the part that's mounted onto the ceiling, and there's also the part that's mounted onto the projector itself and that's able to snap into the ceiling mount. So we'll talk about the ceiling part of it here first of all. So this is basically, there's two holes here. I'm going to use these plugs and screws here to mount directly into it. Okay, so it goes up onto the ceiling mounted there. It's to give you a typical application. If we were doing it even on a ceiling type environment, something like that. Something like this is typical of the ceiling tile what you have, and what you could do is you could put a solid timber back onto this and actually screw directly into it, and you could use that for a mount on it. Is something that professionals often do. In relation to the plastic cover that we have here, if we just flick this over here, we'll just see once we have it assembled, what we can do is we can just actually hide the actual thing by putting this plastic cover over it. So that's sort of a neat finish. And then when we come along and we want to mount this part onto the bracket, so imagine we have this mounted directly onto the ceiling. What I want to do is mount this directly onto the projector itself. So we have the projector, and what we have here underneath is most projectors will have 4 screws in them, but this particular one here we have is an NEC. It only has 3 screws here, but it's adjustable. It can manage this, and if you imagine it's going to be directed like this, and all the buttons access is all directly underneath. So what we've done is, in terms of the assembly work, the only thing we've really done here is we've actually added in 4 screws here. And we just screw these in to actually allow us to mount these extension brackets. And the idea of these is to offer a lot of flexibility in terms of being able to marry up with the holes that are on the base of the projector here. So if we just lift this up like that, what I can do is I can just position this over here, and I can adjust this leg to go here, and I can slide this leg over here to match up with this hole, and I can repeat the same trick for this one here, and all of a sudden then we have all 4 holes, all 3 holes are covered here, and we can just mount it, screw it in, and then what we can do is when we have this successfully mounted there, we can come along and we can just snap this whole thing in. So if we look here, there's a spring-loaded locking mechanism here. So all I need to do is just come from above, push down and snap down, and it locks into position. So there's a quick release mechanism here. If we wanted to press in here, we could actually then pull up the cover here. Or if we wanted to have it as an extra safety feature, what we can actually do is we can just use this Phillips screw here and lock this in here, and it just makes it more secure. So you can see it's an incredibly clever design. Comes at a fantastically low cost. For people who are in the professional game of installing projectors, something like this is fantastic because it's neat, low cost, and for DIYers you just need to mount one on a one-off basis. You can use it for mounting directly onto a concrete ceiling, something like that either, or off a joist. So overall I would say I just think this is a great product, and I think it'll just add on to the overall product range. Now all of the brackets we have in terms of the range for both ceilings, for projectors, for TVs, for cantilever, etc., they all come with free delivery. So that's it anyway, an overview of the fixed projector mounting bracket available on freetv.ie.